Welcome to our sermonette. The title is Blood and Water. We are reading from the book of John, chapter 19, verse number 34. But one of the soldiers pierced that is Christ, his side with a spear, and immediately blood and water came out. May God add a blessing to the reading of his word. Now, let's focus on the blood and the water. Jesus had died, and Jesus was hanging lifeless upon the cross. And they had to confirm that he was really dead. And they had also to make sure that as he is dead, let him bleed. And when the soldier pierced the side of Christ, blood and water gushed out. These were two separate streamlets. Blood was visible and water. What is the representation of blood? What is the representation of water? Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 23, it says that the life of any animal, even of human beings, is in the blood. So blood was representing the human part of Christ. Christ, the Son of God, Christ, the Son of Man, had died. And blood, which was representing his human life, was poured out. Water as well, which was representing the Spirit. Where do we find that? John chapter 7, verse number 37. Is anyone athirst? Let him come and drink freely. Then, verse number 39, John explains that he was speaking of the water of the Spirit. So, when Christ is dying, he's pouring not only his human life, but even his divine life was spilled. He was really dead on the cross. Christ gave up all that he had, and he was lifeless upon that cross and in that borrowed tomb for the sake of the salvation of you and me. Christ is ever ready to bestow upon us the Spirit, which was represented by the water, because we know that according to 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4, that when the rock was following this physical Israelites, the literal Israelites in the desert, whenever they would go into a problem, they would fall into a problem of finding no water. They would draw their water from a rock. And Paul says they drank from that rock that followed them. And that rock was Christ. So Christ, when he died, he made it possible for you and I to accept that water which comes out of him. And that water is the Spirit. What is the significance of having the Spirit of God? We will have the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, which is joy, which is peace, long-suffering, goodness, gentleness, patience, meekness, faith. And against these, there is no law. When Christ died on the cross, he was a sacrifice which was beyond just the human sacrifice. It was the human divine sacrifice of the Son of God, for the sake that you and I be saved. May we strive to thank him. May we strive to seek after him, just even by touching the hem of his garment, that we may receive that blood and that water. Because Hebrews 9 verse 22, no sin is forgiven to us unless there is spilling of blood. But the blood of bulls and goats could not atone for our sins, according to us. But praise be to God, the blood that was spilled on the cross was the blood of a sinless person, Jesus Christ himself. But beyond that, the Spirit as well, his divine life, was spilled upon the cross for the sake that I and you can drink of that life. May God richly bless you through the blood and the water that Christ delivered unto us and made available in abundance on the cross. May God add a blessing to the reading of